Hey guys, it is noon on Saturday, and this is Krissy, and it's my turn for Devo time with a staff member. So this is the time that we reflect on last Sunday's sermon, and our sermon series this month is Built to Last. And you can go online to see last week's service or any of the other services that we've had. We started out with authenticity, we went to small groups, and now we're on process. So I have a quirky little way to start out with explaining about a view on process. And just bear with me because it's kind of silly, but it has an end result. So I have a teenage daughter, and I have over the past few years been able to watch her and all of her friends get ready to go out. And in that process, I've walked in on them in a middle of a process which is kind of alarming when you first see it. And that is a matter of the way that they prepare their faces sometimes with this new way of making the perfection with highlights. So you build layer upon layer of different highlights. You do the cheeks to get the cheekbones, and you do the nose to get the perfect nose. No nostrils, no one wants nostrils, so you have to highlight around there to make it so that it's perfect. The lips, the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes, everything is built into this perfect picture in the end. But if you walk in on the middle of this process and you don't know what's going on, you're going to look at this group of girls and you're going to be like, oh, what is going on? There is some craziness going on in your face. You're not going out like that, right? Because you don't understand that they're building layers and layers of this process for this final beautiful picture, for the greatest selfie ever. So that is one explanation of a process that has a start result. And if you walk in the middle of it, you're going to be shocked at what it looks like. But in the end, they have this perfect picture. That's just one of the processes. Another process that I have recently had that is related to children's ministry is I was recently at church when we just came back, and I had one of the kids that I had taught a lesson 8 months ago all of a sudden get it in that moment. So sometimes the process of teaching, especially in children's ministry, is something that you don't actually see the results until later. And I have some crazy processes on how I teach the kids sometimes in ways that are out there, just so they can get this point. So when you see the end result of the process of how you taught it, it's amazing. So let me tell you about this story. I used chickens, rubber chickens. There are these little bitty rubber chickens in a process of teaching kids about words and things that they say sometimes in anger or in the moment that hurt. So they can spew out these words. And I did the example of them taking these rubber chickens and they shot them at the ceiling in the community room in the back. I had them shoot them at the ceiling and think of all these things that they've said in the past that they regretted after they came out of their mouth. And they stuck. These rubber chickens were all over the ceiling. And some of them fell down, but the majority of them stuck to the ceiling. And it was kind of an example of whatever words you spew out and the things that you do in your life will stick to somebody, which kind of brings us to everything that's going on in our world right now with the race issues and all of the things that are going on out there. What you do and what you say sticks, and it's hard to get rid of all of that. So to bring us back to the point and the day that the kid came back to church, this is 8 months later. He comes walking in and he looks up at the ceiling and he sees all of these rubber chickens that are still stuck to the ceiling. And he says, Miss Krissy, look, those words are still stuck on the ceiling. Not those rubber chickens are still stuck to the ceiling. Those bad words are still stuck to the ceiling. He got it. He understood. All this time, he said, they're still there. And I said, yeah, you got it. The point is that things can stick to somebody for a very long time. So getting back to my point, it was a process. And it was a process that worked in the end out of something crazy. And also when it comes to process, the highlighting. In process and ministry, we have all kinds of ways that we have to build our ministry to get to where we want to get in the end result. If you walk in the middle of one of our processes and you judge how we're doing it or look at everything that's going on, you might not see what we're building layer by layer to get to that end result. So the best way to be a part of that process is to reach out, ask us, how can we serve with you? What is it that you're doing? Ask us questions, be a part of it. We have an all-church meeting on Sunday, this Sunday. And it's one of those processes that we do as leaders, as staff, as members, as we come together to make decisions on all of the things that have to do with our church, on budgets, on finances, all the different processes that different people have to do in order to build a strong church. So I recommend you coming out and helping us start some of those layers or see how those layers are building within our church and vote on the things that are happening and give your opinion. So at 10:20 this Sunday, we will be having an all-church meeting. It'll be a really quick one right after church, and you can kind of see that process or be a part of it. And we're thankful for everything that comes out of these things. When people express what they think or what they feel, that's what builds a strong church. That's what builds a strong community. Those layers, those processes. And in times of change that we're going through right now, it's important that we build our community together to be a strong group of believers, the ones that will want to be a part of what God's plan is in a group, in a community. Build those processes. Help us be a strong church that's built to last. So I end today with telling you that I love you all and that we all need to love each other, and let's go through those processes together to change with our evolving, crazy world and build those processes strong together. So hope to see you at church. I hope to see you at the meeting. And if you can't make that, find other ways to reach out to the leaders in your church, to reach out to the teachers, to the community, to see what you can do to build a process, to make a change in our future together, so that we all reach out in community in faithful believers of God. Thank you. And you guys have a great day. Love y'all. Bye.